Hey there again. Welcome to another double trouble session. Now we are going to do the ravioli. Alright. We already did the panna cotta and the tortellini, and we are going for the ravioli. Let me just check here something. Alright. So let's start, shall we? We are going again for the bright white. This is called what? Cadmium yellow, and this is lemon. Yeah, but the lemon is fairly darker than the cadmium. Well, I guess you might have mistaken themselves. So applying now like a generous base of this really light yellow. Hey there, cats. How are you? How are you doing? Right. Are you tired? It's what time there in Taiwan right now? Gabe, so this one, it was the first experiment with this wax. So, well, it's not really wax, but it's like wax crayons, right? But they are soluble with water. And this was the first experiment with this, and it went really bad, really bad. Like from this part up, for me that's really cool. From this part down, it's complete rubbish, you know. But even then, I guess I got to save it a little bit with the highlights. I tried to save it a little bit, I guess, with the highlights, and yeah, it kinda worked a little bit in my favor. But it was going really badly, you know. Thank you. But like, this is the first time I'm experimenting this medium, so have a little, it's like an experience, like it takes a little while, right, to get everything looking good and nice. Yeah, but well, these crayons are a little different. Sorry, because they are like water soluble. So as you can see here, you can dissolve them with water, creating a more pleasing look, you know. The thing is, I didn't knew how to work with them properly. That's why I messed that up. But now I guess I kinda understood how I should apply the tones and whatnot. Yeah, yes, yes it is. I just received in the mail these crayons yesterday at night. So these were my first experiments with them. I only had seen like a video about like these crayons against sorry, the neocolor ones, you know, from Carandash. I already knew that they were water soluble. That was why I bought them. but yeah, I didn't knew how they would behave or what I should be doing, you know, in order to get like the most of it. Because contrary to watercolor markers, you know, that I use quite often, um, this type of crayons you should do, at least from my experience here, you should do first the coloring, the whole coloring and the gradients first, and only after apply the water, you know. And what I was doing here was trying to do like layer by layer, of like going with a really, let's say, like light color and water, then going over with another color, and it was really trashy, you know. That wasn't really nice at all. And now with this technique, like applying everything, going with a nice layer all over, like, and then applying just the water after, that helps a lot. Then you can reapply again on top, you know, but going with a more 3D look to it. Yeah, for sure. Like, the thing is, imagine this is LYRA, it's this thing here, okay? It's LYRA, like crayons, you know, like wax crayons, but water soluble, okay? Gabe, do you think it has a good layer structure? Yeah, for sure. So I'm using here some watercolor paper, okay, to be able to have some strength on the paper. Since I'm using water, right? But yeah, you can like layer on top of everything, like even after applying water, you can still layer another set of like more tones. That's definitely cool. Yeah. And that's the thing that kind of happens with watercolor markers. That's like you have to apply a color and then almost immediately go over it with water, or else it might dry up, you know, and it keeps there like the like the stain, you know. And with here it's a little different, you know, since we are using like a dry, already dry medium. You can do the whole artwork with only the crayons, you know, and after doing everything, after layering everything, then you go with water and smooth everything out, you know. And that's a really cool. That's really nice. Trying to lift this brown here a little bit, yeah. Also lifting a little bit on this border because it's too harsh, I guess. Something like this. Now the point will be to let it dry a little bit. This dries quickly, fairly quick actually, because we are not dumping a whole lot of water on top of it. And then we'll go with a marker, like with a Posca pen, you know, trying to do some highlights. In this case, like regarding pasta, as this is the example, you know, like tortellini and ravioli, we are not going for the same highlights as this, as the panna cotta, okay? Because here we have a really high highlight, and here, since it's pasta itself doesn't reflect a whole lot of light, right? So we are going to apply some white, and with my finger just going to dab into it, just to diffuse a little more the highlight, just to bring a more lighter area, you know. The purpose is actually that one, just to bring out a little darker area on it. No, I'm with a reference here, okay? I go for references. I just, well, for instance, this one, this page is only dedicated to Italian stuff, you know, to Italian food. So I just search it first with some reference, you know, some photo references. And then as soon as I get those photos I want, I just go from it, you know. since I'm trying to do a semi-realistic stuff. It's, well, it's better for me. It's easier, let's say. It's easier for me, yeah, for sure. Just seeing if it's already dried up or not. Just cleaning out the tip here of the Posca. You see, just applying and just dabbing here to get those more matte highlights, you know. Yeah. If I wanted to be really highlight, I just would leave it as that, you know. But since pasta doesn't reflect this amount of light, I just go dabbing it so I can create more contrast, you know, with the lighter areas. I just messed up here. There's no problem because you can still go on top of it with the crayons. Yeah. Yeah, something like this, you know. Yeah. Now, since I messed up here, can bring out our crayons and just go over it, chill, you know, correcting the mistake really lightly. And yeah, that's cool enough, you know, fairly easy enough. So let me see. Thank you, Ayan Guyen. If anyone asked me to do a tattoo of a food, I guess not. No. I get like a lot of flowers, that for sure. I have like a lot of flowers, butterflies, but not food actually. I'm trying to figure out how it's properly, sorry. I don't know if I don't know how it's properly named. Let me check that out really quick. Oh, ravioli, okay. It's the same as Portuguese. Alright. Well, and we already have the third one here. Now let's get oh, okay. I was just checking if it would have like a 2Ls. Maxi, thank you. I didn't know if it had like 2Ls or just one. Like tortellini has 2Ls, so. So, going to erase a little bit these markings. Now I'm going for a canoli. This is, from what I see, this is like a favorite for Americans, I guess. The canoli. Try to learn Italian, right? Well, there's nothing much to learn, you know. You just need to talk a little bit. Well, and you from Brazil, it will be easier from us because you just need to sing a little more the words, and just doing this and you are set to go. Joking, I'm joking, of course, right? So, for the cannoli, I don't know, where do I start? Yeah, exactly. I would like to have here a creamy, that I don't have, like a beige. I don't have it. So I go with yellow instead. Now for the canoli. Stop and smile. Thank you. It's actually the purpose of being somewhat a chilled live. So now let's smooth this up. Like this should be like in a more beige side, but since I don't have any beige here, it goes like with yellows. Right. Well, yeah, you could, yeah, I could create some beige, you know. I could go here, try to do like a palette, you know, like if I was using a proper watercolor, you know, I could work with some colors here to create a beige with like some brown, like some light brown here. I could go like, for example, I could go with something like this, you know, placing some brownish get here some white on top, you know, and eventually trying to create here a beige, you know. And then use this as a watercolor, like a proper watercolor, you know. But I want to stick to like applying directly the tone directly to the paper, you know, because since I have here already the tone I want, I can go with my brush and pick it up as if it was like regular watercolor, you know. But yeah, I just prefer to stick with the limitations I have, to work around them, you know. And actually, one thing that I saw that's really cool with this stuff is like, if you want to go somewhere, you want to sleep, if you want to go somewhere, like and if you want to use like this type of stuff, you don't need even to bring them up, you know. You just grab like a page like this one from a sketchbook, just swatch like each color, you know, and then you just need to leave with your sketchbook and your pen, with your brush with water, because then if you go over that swatch of color with the water, then you have proper watercolor, you know. That's the cool thing. What did you bought, actually? A brush? How late are you? Well, I started 40 minutes ago, more or less. Just did the ravioli. And going here for the canoli. Oh, okay. Yeah, imagine, like I have here, I have these, you know, these brushes. These are from, I don't even know from where these are from. I guess I bought them like on Temu, I guess, you know. And this type of stuff, Henry, it's something like wax crayons, you know, but they are soluble with water. So I already had this type of brushes from Temu. These are really inexpensive, you know. But actually I bought this one from Zig, yeah. And this is slightly different because because this one will just keep on dumping water, you know. You can't use like a dry brush technique with this, okay? This one, no, this one just starts to drip some water if you push slightly, you know. So that's a little more controlled. It's not Crayola, okay? The brand is this one. It's from LYRA, okay? It's wax cray. It's not wax crayons. It's like similar to wax crayons, but they are soluble with water. Yeah, bro. It's been 40 minutes. But, well, I only did this one actually, so no problem at all. You are not properly late. This one will take me quite a while to do, this canoli. It's almost night there, right, Rue? No, like the proper, I can show you here quickly how they look, okay? So if you paint with them, you can get like this type of texture, okay? But if you apply water on top, then they'll be really smooth. Yeah, 6 p.m., yeah. So let's go. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So I'm been kinda into lately into watercolor stuff, you know. I've experimented a lot with watercolor markers and I like it a lot, really. And since I saw, well, I already knew like the Carandash has also a wax crayons, the new color too. They are also like wax crayons, soluble in water. I was going for those, but then I saw like LYRA also does this type of stuff. And since it's significantly cheaper, I just went with LYRA ones, you know. Well, it's not just because of that. It's cheaper, but it's also almost the same, you know. So but yeah, but definitely it's a cool medium to try. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. I've been liking a lot using watercolor. It's been like really cool. Oops, I just went a little bit too far here. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the trying mediums it will help you, but what really definitely will help is just, for example, going on Pinterest and just typing something and having in your mind to do, well, I'm just going to do this. The first thing that will appear on Pinterest when searching for something, you know? That will definitely help with art block, you know? But yeah, yeah, Ru, like, yeah, of course, Ru, yeah, it depends. If you are saying like art block in terms of don't knowing what to draw or what to do, definitely. No drum stroke, not, imagine, let's say, well, I'm doing food stuff, okay? Imagine that you want to do something around food, okay? You just, or desserts, for instance, you just go on Pinterest and just write desserts. The first you have to do that, you don't get to choose, you know? Like the first thing that appears, you have to do it, you know? Having that type of discipline, you know, to go with it. Well, yeah. So if you have ideas, it's not like an art block. You are just afraid. Sorry. You are just afraid of not getting them like properly done, right? You are afraid of failing. But for that, I just suggest You just go with it and have like a huge failure right at the beginning, okay? Then that will unblock you for the rest, okay? That's what I did here, okay? So in this one, is this panna cotta, it's now saved because of the highlights, okay? But when I started this, it was looking like shit, okay? Honestly. And it was the first time I was experiencing this medium, so I didn't knew how to do it properly, you know? So it really looked like shit. And as soon as I could figure it out how to work around it, then it suddenly changed a lot, you know, the things. And that will help you, you know, like as we were talking on the live in the morning, like failure will definitely help you, you know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you are not losing anything. The only thing that you are going to lose eventually, it's like just a piece of paper. That's not that much, you know. No problem, man. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. It happens a lot. Like it's exactly what I'm doing here, you know. So I'm just sorry. I'm just like a little bit out of my comfort zone. Not a little bit, a lot out of my comfort zone, you know, because well, I never tried this medium before. I'm trying to make it work, you know. I have a lot of doubts if even the the method that I'm using it's like the appropriate one. I don't know. But even then, well, just go and try, you know. Exactly, Ru. But this also works for you, so okay. So when you have like your fancy sketchbooks, don't be afraid of doing like crappy work on them. What I was saying, I guess it was previous of Euro to coming in the live, is that like this type of medium, it's really cool. You know why? Because like imagine that you want to go somewhere, it doesn't matter where, but if you want to go to, well, like today it's really sunny and you want to go to a cafe or something like that, and to work a little bit to sketch a little bit, to draw something, the cool thing is that you can like swatch your colors beforehand, like at home, as I did here, just applying a little bit of pressure on them. Okay, imagine if this was like part of the sketchbook, and then leave it as that. You go to your spot, just bring the sketchbook and a little brush with a water reservoir, and then you can treat this as watercolor, you just go over it, and this will happen to be like a watercolor set, without needing to bring anything else, That's a cool thing, you see. A cool hack. Yeah, that's really cool, Ru. That this, I've been liking this a lot, you know. You can do like really interesting stuff with this. Actually, I guess you don't hear, but like my cat, it's like in my room sleeping. He's snoring. I'm listening here in my office. Like he's snoring so loud. Yeah, that's cool. So I was saying like in the beginning, like this one here should be like a more creamy look to it instead of being yellow. But I don't have here a proper cream, color. I could make it if I was mixing on a piece of paper some like browns, whites, whatever, to get that more creamy, like beige look. But since my go-to right now it's like to try to apply directly the crayons on the paper. Yeah, I just replaced that thing with with yellow instead of being like a creamy. Yeah, you can hear because of the music, but he just snores so loud. And it's worse when it's like at night, because he usually sleeps like at my feet. And when I have like insomnia, and I'm hearing him like really snoring, then I can sleep for at all. I have to push him. I have to push him with my feet so he wakes up. NCW, how are you? How are you, man? Showing off. I'm good, thank you. Here in good company, as always. Can't complain. You don't like the naming. Well, but you know, I'm really cool with it. You know, that for me, that's really, yeah. That's like that clumsy vibe to it. Like to treat it as it is. You know, this is like a sketchbook, so it's not like a masterpiece of some kind. You know, so that's why for me that's really chill. You know, just to make some silly, like silly name, not silly names because that's the real name, the real names, but like the silly writing, you know. And this thing, since it's Italian desserts, well, Italian food overall, right? So it goes only with reds and greens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's like the look, you know. Yeah, exactly. That's more like the look that I'm going for, you know. Like doing some really careful work, and then around it some really, well, like some what the hell. Let just like doodle something here, you know. That's the thing that I like, you know. That contrast. That's fun, you know. Just going really for the fun stuff. Hey there, Christina. Exactly. Yeah, but that's what I'm really getting into, you know. That type of nonsense. You are in Germany, right? NCW, or it's Germany or Austria? I don't know. No, I'm confused. I think I'm getting confused. No, you are in the States, right? I think I've confused you with someone else. Yeah, exactly. The States. Okay, okay. Exactly. It is another double trouble. No, no, I already did this morning. This morning I did the panna cotta and the tortellini, and now after lunch break, I did already the ravioli and doing now the canoli. But NCW, you in the States you do have canoli, right? I figure like Americans are really fans of cannoli. Okay, half German. Okay. Okay, okay. Rue here is a survivor. She just handles. If I was going to say, well, I'll be like in a subathon, doing like whatever crazy amount of hours, I guess Rue would still stick there to cheer me up. Sorry, incidentally, I didn't understood. You can imagine if it's as good as your side of the pond. Didn't understood it. Sorry. Oh, okay, okay, okay. The food. Okay. Well, so it's difficult for me to say because I never went to America, to the States. So I honestly I can't say if this is better because I never tried American. Well, I never tried American food in America. So, uh, but from what I see online, from what I already heard for people going there, yeah, I can say at least the food is it's a little better. And I don't want to be really biased here, but like not saying like the whole European because but at least Portuguese food it's freaking amazing. Because in Europe you still have like kinda shitty food. Yeah, you just got some sleep through and now it's still midnight. But guys, I have to say that I was really impressed with these crayons, you know? I'm really liking it. They are really, really cool, you know. Oh no, no, Portuguese food, you can't mess with it. I was talking with Drew actually yesterday. She was saying that he was drinking some orange wine. I never heard of it, and then I looked it up, and yeah, it's a real thing. I have to try it out actually, but she was saying that like the bottle cost her like $50. And when I was like $50, it's an insane amount for Portugal, you know. It's absurd because like Portugal, it's the country of wine, you know. Like forget about France. France is the country of champagne, yes, for sure. But regarding wine, it's Portugal, okay? Portugal and Spain, and eventually Italy, okay? Italy as well. So South Europe, basically. And like I said, like I bought like for the weekend 2 bottles of rosé, like premium bottles, I should say. Like the wine is really good, you know. And guess what? It cost me like €2.99. Okay, so so it's fairly cheap to the alcohol here, the wine, not the whole alcohol, but at least the wine, it's really cheap. Like if you want to imagine, you know, like those. Imagine that if you want to to offer. No, Ru. No. It's not 30 different ways. You can make, here in Portugal, you can make codfish 1,000 different ways. It's not 30. We have more than 1,000 recipes to cook codfish. Exactly, Christina. Yes, there are books here or of recipes of what more than 1,000 different ways to cook codfish. And guess what? We don't even have codfish on our seas. Okay. Well, what is expensive? Codfish? But we eat codfish in a different way as yeah, I guess most people eat. We eat it like, well, we don't eat it like that, but a lot of people eat fresh codfish, you know. And we buy codfish as already salted, you know, salt curated, you know, because like the Portuguese go to Norway, Iceland to fish codfish, and then they put it on only salt boxes, you know, and then we receive the codfish as is, and then we just put it on a bath of water for like 2-3 days to remove the salt, you know, and then we cook it. Yeah, like codfish, honestly, it's one of my favorite foods actually. I really like it. Yeah, exactly. The salt preserves the fish. Since it's like a long journey between like Norway and Iceland, the fish it's there in salt and it preserves the fish. Halibut, I don't know what halibut is. Let me check. I don't know the translation. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah, yeah, I do like it a lot. Yeah, yeah. So since Portugal it's like a coastal country, you know, to the ocean, we do have a lot of fish here. But yeah, yeah, it's fairly expensive as well. Yes, but I really love it. So this has a backstory because Ru was asking me what was like my favorite food, and since the last weekend I ate like you know the roasted piglets. Yeah, we have a lot of shellfish as well. Uh, it depends. It depends. Like if you are going for those like tiger shrimps, you know that those really huge ones, they can go for like $50 a kilo, more or less. But if you go like with a regular shrimp, it's fairly inexpensive. Yeah. Yeah, NCW. Yeah. In your case, it should be really expensive. Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to show you. So right now, Ru, close your eyes. I'm going to show you the rest of you, and then you'll say if it's not like the most amazing and delicious stuff you would see. So close your eyes, Ru. Okay. So get this. You know, the thing is, this is like little piglets. You know, roasted in specific ovens. And they as they are roasting them, all right, they just are brushing them with a specific sauce that makes the skin really crisp, you know, really crispy. But the inside meat it's really tender, you know, so it's amazing. And now, Ru, you should really close your eyes because this will be a little bit more. Because I'm going to show you how the whole thing comes to like if we can order like little portions, right? but that goes a little bit more expensive. If you are going for the family dinner or lunch, you know, we just order one whole piglet, you know. Yeah, but these are different, you know. This thing is different. We still have like a pig roast, but this is like little. Rue, close your eyes right now, okay? Close it, close it. You know, they come like this. So they come like this, like in a box, you know. And okay, it can be a little bit graphic if you are a little more sensitive to this type of stuff. I understand it, but it's really delicious. It's absurdly delicious. Yeah, exactly, NCW. Like the flavor, it's from another world, you know. But I was saying this, but this is not even like my favorite food. I was just like I thought I talk about this because that was the thing that I ate like last weekend, and it was fresh on my mind, not just because. Well, you don't eat it like that, right? That comes to you in the box, then you cut it up, you cut everything in small pieces, and then it goes to the table. But it comes like entirely, like with a head and whatnot, because there are people that like to enjoy to eat around the head, you know. Because here, as I said, like yesterday, like here in Portugal, uh, a couple of like 50 years ago, more or less, Portuguese people were really poor. Okay. Yeah. Like Portuguese people were really poor, and usually almost all families would have like a pig. Yeah, like all families would have like a pig, at least one pig, to feed the family for almost the whole year, you know. And here in Portugal, we eat like the whole pig, you know, from nose to tail, you know. There are like some appetizers. That's like pig's ear, pig's nose. They are delicious. I eat that up like really easily. And like because like people were hungry and were like in a really tough place. They were used to do it, you know, to eat everything from the pig, you know, and that became like a tradition in here in Portugal. So we do eat the whole pig. Yeah, sausages for bacon, for ham, you know. So even the blood, it's used, you know. Everything is used. Yeah, that's different. That's different. But because right now, well, we are talking from a place of abundance, you know. Even if you or me are not going for a good time, you know. But I can say, like, imagine, it's not really far away, you know. My grandfather tells a lot of stories, for example, and it's not only him, you know. I heard this type of stories for other people as well, older people. Like they would have to, when they were young, they would, do you know a sardine, you know, a regular sardine? They would have to divide a sardine for like five brothers, you know, for a meal, you know. It was like really extreme poor, you know, it's extreme poverty, you know. That was tough. And if you come from that place, you know, from that place of poverty, and if you have like an animal, you are not thinking on raising them as a pet because your stomach is hurting with hunger, you know. So we are talking here from a different perspective, you know. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Not a long time ago. Not a long time ago. I'm telling you, like my it was like my grandfathers telling me that, you know. We are talking a lot like around like 40 years ago. That's not like a long time ago. My grandfather is still alive, you know. I heard this from other older people as well, you know, around Portugal. Yeah, that's not that far away. Like the whole country, since we were on a dictatorship, you know, the whole country was starving. So when families could have like some animals, you know, to raise, of course they would eat everything from the animal because they were starving. Of course, like imagine today, you know, if I was going to have like if I had space or if I was going to have a pig, of course I would raise him as a pet, of course, you know. But we are not dealing with those type of struggles, you know. And from what I heard, I guess like pigs are really clever, really intelligent. They can respond almost better than dogs. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, tough times, those. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's really normal, you know, Christina. At least for me here in Portugal, like my grandfathers also have chickens, you know. And when I was a kid, they would yeah, they would like slaughter the chickens, but they would do something a little more, something little bit more macabre, you know. It was like cutting the neck and releasing them. So they would be like running around without a head. It's something a little bit more macabre, yeah. Yeah, instead of, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I guess pigs are really clever. Yeah, but that's a little, well, cruel, let's say. But they knew that you had like a affection to that specific chicken. Well, but yeah, but that's the thing, you know. It's for raising for it. It's difficult. You did? Actually, I can say like I'm a little bit afraid of chicken. You know, afraid like they are a little too unpredictable. You know. But my daughter, no. Like my son is also a little bit afraid, but my daughter just go inside like the fenced stuff with all the chicken there. She just goes in and let's go, let's roll. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, for sure. She is really brave. So let's go for the favorite part, for Rue's favorite part. I'm sorry, Rue. It's like wax crayons, you know. Yeah, textbook effect. It's like wax crayons, but you can dissolve it with water, you know. So honestly, I had a really great time doing this. I was amazed on how cool it was to paint with this. Yeah. So the thing is, I already said it, like Garandash, I was looking into Garandash ones, you know. They also have this type of stuff, but it was too expensive, you know. It was like the same set, it will be like around, I guess it was like or 70 or 90 euros. It was too expensive. And this set, it went for around 20 something euros. And I saw like the review between them, this and Carandash, and it was almost the same, you know. And I was like, yeah, Carandash is a staple, it's a huge brand and it's amazing. It has a huge quality, but dude. Yeah, you can get this from Amazon as well. Let me just check it out, but for sure. LYRA watercolor. So you are on the US, so it has to be the US Amazon. Yeah, you have it as well, yeah. The thing is, in Amazon, you have like the 48, it's not the 48, it's the 24. So you have 12, this is a 24 set. You have the 12 set for 16 bucks. But I'm not finding the 24. The 48 is a little bit more expensive, it's on 63 bucks. Yeah. It's a little bit too much yellow, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like these two are almost the same, it's just pasta, right? And these, it's also some fried stuff, like it's also dough, so yeah, it's a little too much yellow. Just had the panna cotta to break things up a little bit, but yeah. Let me see here if it has like the 24 set. Oh, it has, yeah. It's for 27 bucks. Yeah, it's the same. If the Carandash ones, like yeah, they don't have like the 30 colors. It's for like 72 bucks. It's way too much. It's almost double the individual crayon, double the price of individual crayon. No, it's not about the camera or the monitor. No, actually it is this section here. It's way too much yellow. Yeah, for sure. No. I like it. Well, it turned out more or less okay. Yeah, for sure. With the highlights, it kind of said the highlights saved a little bit the panna cotta. Yeah, for sure. But how it was before, it was really rubbish. Yeah. Yeah, but like if you can go for the if you want to go for the more affordable pack, the 12 colors, it's only 16 bucks. So that's not really that expensive. $16, it's a fair price, I guess. And these are really different, you know, because I already seen like other brands of this type of crayons that it's really difficult to smooth them with water, you know. These ones are really smooth and you can get like a nice texture with it. And and it's cheaper than Caran d'Ache ones. So it's done, guys. Yeah. That was interesting, actually, Christina. Me and Ru, we were talking about religion and that type of stuff, and suddenly a guy with a username like God Loves Us appeared. Definitely it was the right timing. So guys, I'll be finishing up here, okay? Thank you very much for being here with me. I really appreciate all of you guys, honestly. Thank you for setting. Oh well, I'm just going to show up a little bit how this is look, and this is like really a premium look to it, you know. Just a simple metallic box with the branding here, and here the cover, you know. And yeah, that's really cool. Exactly, number one on Ru. So guys, thanks a lot for being here, and see you on the next one. Okay, I don't know if tomorrow I'll do any live, but if not, Monday here I am. Okay, so see you on the next one. Have a nice day, or have a nice night, and cheers. Okay, bye bye. Cheers.